Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Matthew and today we are going to be talking about 2021 fashion trends. So for the last week or so I started writing down a list of 2021 trends. So some of these may be things that I've noticed on my Instagram feed that a lot of people are wearing. I did a little bit of research on Google as well, and then some of these are just my predictions based on what I feel people are really liking right now. And before I get into the trends that I compiled, I just want to clarify that fashion and trends are meant to be fun, and in no means are you expected to wear all of these trends in order to be considered fashionable. I myself like a lot of the trends that I have listed, but there are some that I don't really like and don't see myself wearing. So at the end of the day, it is up to you to pick and choose which trends you vibe with and which trends you want to adopt yourself and incorporate into your personal style. So trend number one is high socks. I remember knee-high socks were really trendy when I was in high school, but this time around the trend that I'm seeing is the socks are a little shorter, so they just go below the knee. And the most popular way to style them that I'm seeing is with some chunky loafers and a more flowy skirt, like perhaps a pleated skirt. Trend number two is maxi coats. This is probably one of my favorite trends on this list. I feel like this came in like full force in the fall, especially with H&M's fall collection. That was a huge success, and they had all of these amazing long jackets and long coats that everyone got. I myself got one of the really long maxi jackets and they're so cool, and I also got myself one of their long coats in beige. And the best part about this trend is the coat is such a statement that you really don't have to think about what you're wearing under. Like, you can just wear a sweater and jeans and a really thick scarf and you just look like the classiest person to walk the streets. So that's my favorite part about it. Next trend is kind of a subsection of this maxi coat trend, and it's the quilted coats. I feel like this is pretty much an extension of the puffer coat trend, which started I guess 2 years ago, and now we're kind of looking into different more interesting materials. Like, to me this is very much sleeping bag or like duvet inspired, and I feel like this is really where street style is going. Like, you want to just have this really big oversized like intriguing coat that's going to be the statement of your outfit. And I think this trend will also be really cool in the spring, like a cream quilted shorts and sweater set and worn with like chunky boots. I think that would be so cute. So the next trend is dramatic cutouts, and I feel like this is nothing new. We've started seeing that in the past few years with cutout bathing suits, and then last spring we kind of saw the start of the shoulder pad trend. So we saw the shoulder pad like muscle shirts in the summer, and then going into fall I know Zara had some padded turtlenecks and sweaters as well. We've also seen the boxy blazer, which has been around for a couple years now, but there's a few new items that I'm starting to see. The first one is pants with cutouts like above the waist, so either like some crisscross material kind of going around the waist, or we're even seeing some like thong cutout pants. I'll put some pictures so you know what I'm talking about. I think these could be really fun, especially if we were able to go out. They're super daring, but I feel like the trend will grow on people. And another one that I'm seeing is super high cut bodysuits. I think these ones are also pretty daring, but I could see a lot of people wearing them by the summertime. Another really big cutout trend right now is also the arm sweater. I think an arm sweater is really fun to kind of play around with necklace layering, and you can also wear, you know, a lower cut shirt, but having the arm coverage makes it a little less risque. This next trend is not my favorite, but I think it's one of the biggest trends that I'm seeing for 2021, and this trend is patchwork. I would say patchwork is pretty much the tie-dye of 2021. To me, this patchwork trend is kind of an evolution from the two-tone trend that was big last year. So we saw a lot of like two-toned shoes, two-tone jeans with like one leg of different color. We also saw shirts that were like two different designs like cut in the middle, and so this is just like taking this trend but times 20, and so now we're just like patching up a bunch of different designs. I think this actually looks really cool for like a flannel. I think that is something I would wear. We're seeing it a lot with pants. That to me doesn't really suit my personal style. I feel like there's just too much going on. But again, some people can really pull it off. Another trend that is kind of related to the patchwork trend is the second skin tops. I feel like I personally started noticing this trend around the fall time when people started wearing turtlenecks under their sweaters. Again, it's super 90s. And now we're seeing it a lot combined with the patchwork trend. So some very thin, like skin tight shirts with that little like seams detail. And then going into spring and summer, we're going to be seeing these tops with some more mesh and thinner materials and some funner designs. I know last year the mesh like angel tops were really popular, so I'm excited to see what kind of designs we'll see on them this year. Next trend is Gap sweaters. I feel like this one isn't that random because every few years there's like a throwback sports brand or just bigger brand that just becomes big again. Like I know this happened with Champions a few years ago and New Balance more recently. Like I feel like New Balance was like not it when I was in high school and junior high, and then now New Balance sneakers are like the coolest thing. So I think the same thing is going to happen with Gap sweaters. Like super oversized sweater with Gap on it is going to be like the new Champion hoodies. Another trend that is totally a throwback is yoga pants, which are now called flared leggings. I feel like we were all the queens of yoga pants in like, I guess junior high and high school maybe a little bit. Like I totally remember wearing the yoga pants from Victoria's Secret pink with like the waist piece that you could fold over and it was like bedazzled with pink on it. So I think it's so funny that it's back in style. This is a trend that I did not see coming at all. And I think it's especially a vibe if you're wearing like chunky boots like Doc Martens with it, or any kind of platform shoe like platform Converses as well. Next trend is baseball or varsity jackets. I don't know if Hailey Bieber started this trend, but I notice her wear this look a lot and I think she totally pulls it off. Personally, it's not a trend that I see myself wearing or that I connect with. Maybe it's just because I'm not into sports, but I think it totally makes sense with the whole like boyish, super oversized, baggy theme that is still very much a thing in 2021. Okay, this next trend is super exciting to me, and that is cowboy boots. I feel like cowboy boots have been trying to have a moment for the past few years. Like I think they're really big for events like Coachella and music festivals. We've seen celebrities wear them, and I feel like they never really like transition to like just the average person. And I really hope that 2021 is the year where cowboy boots really have their moment. Like I hope this summer everyone's wearing them with like cute summer dresses. Another trend that is kind of related to the cowboy boots is pants tucked into boots. And so I think with cowboy boots it would look really cool to wear like baggy jeans tucked into them, just so it looks kind of like messy. I think that's a really cool look. Okay, next trend is very general. It's vests, but I really feel like all types of vests are cool right now. Obviously, as soon as fall came around, the sweater vests were probably, I would say, the biggest trend of 2020. They just like blew up, and next thing you knew, everyone was wearing sweater vests. I actually don't see sweater vests staying around that long, just because I feel like we almost overdid them. So I can see them staying around till this summer, where maybe they'll come in a lot of fun pastel colors and cropped versions. We're seeing puffer vests. I think those are really cool. They're almost a little too sporty for me, but especially going into spring, it's going to be a very practical trend. This next trend is relaxed baggy pants. It's very general, but I feel like the relaxed fit applies to like all types of pants. I'm seeing baggy pants go from straight leg to a more flared look. For example, the Zara like wide leg pants were iconic this fall, and they totally took over the internet for some reason. So those are really big, but we're also seeing that look with dress pants, the very like laid back, loose fitting. Something super exciting about this relaxed pants trend is that it's even affecting sweatpants. I feel like sweatpants haven't really gotten a style change for like the longest time. Like I feel like I've been wearing the same type of like stretchy sweatpants with the elastic band at the waist and around the ankles, and it's been like this for a while. And now finally we're seeing the shapes of sweatpants change into like a wide leg fit. And actually I think this was influenced by Skims. I think Kim Kardashian did such a great job with her sets, and this is kind of now everywhere in fast fashion. And now we're seeing like the thicker sweatpants also going towards that more flared style. And I already mentioned this earlier, but we're also seeing leggings become flared. Another really big one for pants is slits. So we're seeing slit details with flared leggings and with jeans. We've seen this a lot last year with slits on the side, but now we're seeing the slit in the middle. So I think this is a really cool way to show off your shoes, especially going into spring as we start to wear loafers. I just mentioned my next trend, which is the chunky loafer. This is nothing new. However, I think it's really going to have its moment in 2021. I think it's going to be the shoe to have in spring and summer, and I can see everybody wearing it. And this goes really well with like the under the knee high sock trend that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Next trend is colored leather. We've seen the Melina pants from Aritzia totally take over this fall. I feel like brown leather specifically became really big in fall of 2020, and I feel like now if you browse any fast fashion store, you will see a pair of brown leather pants on their site. I really like this trend. I think it looks really edgy, and I could totally see other colors of leather becoming really big in 2021. I'm personally hoping that it would be like a dark forest green. I tried on the Melina pants in that color at Aritzia the other day, and I thought they were so cool. This next one is probably the most useless trend for 2021, but I do think it's really cute, and it's super mini tiny bags. Again, they serve no purpose. I think you could probably put like one key and maybe a lipstick in it if you're lucky. I feel like this type of bag is really there just to add to your outfit, like add like an extra detail that just makes your outfit more unique. If Zara comes out with a relatively cheap version of the tiny bags, I would be open to trying it out. I think it would look really cute with a dress in the summertime. On the other hand, another trend that we're seeing is super maxi totes. And for this trend, what I'm seeing is a lot of really large oversized tote bags with unexpected materials, so something like nylon, quilted materials. So I kind of touched on that earlier with the quilted coat trend. This is also going to be seen in bags, so I like to categorize that in general as just large bags with unexpected materials. And my favorite one has to be the white like fluffy tote bag from Zara. It sold out unfortunately, so I couldn't get my hands on it, but I think any bag with Sherpa is so cute, and I think it's a really great way to add texture to an outfit. This one is definitely not for everyone. I've posted a few polls on my story, and most people hate this Sherpa bag trend. I just think it's so cute. Building off of this fur bag trend, a really big trend for 2021 is fur-lined clothing. I first started to notice this trend in fall of 2020 when Zara started releasing cardigans with fur-lined trims. I actually started to warm up to this when Zara and Aritzia started to come out with peacoats with a fur-lined detail, and the Zara one is especially neat because you can actually remove the fur, so it acts as a normal peacoat, but then if you want to add that extra detail, then you can. I just find that fur is not really practical and it's not casual. Like as soon as you wear it, you just look really bougie. So I think when it comes as like an add-on piece, then I think it's smart because you can totally change the look of your coat by just adding this fur. This fur line trend is actually, in my opinion, just the start of like, I just can see the next few years being like super huge with fur. I think right now what's really big is Sherpa and like shearling teddy detail, and I think we're gonna, unfortunately, because I love Sherpa so much, I think we're going to step away from it and take a step in the direction of full-on fur. Also, this next one is something that I started to notice, and the trend is shirts that aren't tucked in. They kind of have an interesting shape at the front, and it's almost like a longer flap, and I think it's a really nice change from crop tops. I think crop tops have been around for like so many years now, and I feel like it may be time for crop tops to be out and to do something a little different. This is probably a trend that I should have mentioned first in this video because it's so big, and it's lug soles. So obviously those really chunky tractor soles are really big in 2021 still. They're here to stay, and they're becoming even more dramatic, I would say. And like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be seeing them in spring and summer with the loafers. We're also seeing these carrying into sneakers. So for example, I saw that Converse makes like tractor platform sneakers. So I can't say I'm a big fan of the application of lug soles with sneakers, but regardless, we're seeing a lot of sneakers implementing this sole trend, which is understandable because it's so big with boots. Another trend that I think will still be huge in 2021 is the model off-duty look. Model off-duty can mean so many different things. For example, the sweatsuit sets were totally inspired by models off-duty, and another big one that I love is hoodies under blazers. And I think this was big in 2020, but now everyone's kind of wearing bigger jackets and winter coats for the season. So I think as spring comes around, I can see people wearing the hoodie under a blazer look. Even this winter, I feel like we're seeing a lot of hoodies being worn under maxi coats, and I think that is such a nice, clean, effortless look, and it's totally model inspired. I feel like Hailey Bieber is such a great example of this look. Another example of this model off-duty style is wearing a bra under a jacket, or just like something more oversized. So wearing like a more minimal top that basically looks like a bra, either a sports bra or like one of those knit bralettes. I know Zara had some really cute ones last spring, and I think this worn under like an oversized blazer or just like a zip-up hoodie, or even worn on its own with a really long baggy pair of dress pants is a really neat look. So I think there's ways to balance it so that it doesn't look super out there. I think it actually can look really tasteful. Another trend that I forgot to mention, which I'm actually wearing, is the cow trend. I think cow is actually going to make its exit at the end of 2021, but it's going to have its last go this year. Zebra was really big in 2020. We saw a little bit of cow print, but I feel like no one really dared to wear it, and 2021 is going to be the year where people are going to dare to wear, you know, the cow print pants and the cow print bag and the cow print jacket. But I don't think it's here to stay. I feel like it's kind of like tie-dye or zebra print. Like once you've worn it a lot, you kind of get over it really quickly. So it'll have its moment, but I think it is not going to be here for a long time. Last but not least, the last 2021 trend forecast that I have is mixing metals. So meaning wearing like gold and silver together. Personally, right now I'm very anti-silver. I've been all about gold the past 2 years, so it's hard for me to think about wearing silver again. But at the same time, I totally get it. I feel like gold has been around for too long now, so we need to just do something different with jewelry. I also think it's very smart that the trend is to mix colors, because that way we don't have to just dispose of all of our gold jewelry and swap it for silver. We can kind of slowly start to incorporate more silver with the jewelry that we wear. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I think it's so much fun making fashion predictions. Whether or not I'm right, I may be completely wrong about some of them, but that's the whole idea behind this type of video. As you can see, it's gone really dark, so sorry about this change in lighting. I am super interested if you think that maybe I missed something. Is there a trend that you think will be huge in 2021 that I didn't mention? Do you agree with my predictions, and which of my predictions did you love and hate? I would love to know, so please leave a comment down below. I love talking about fashion, so I would love to have this conversation with you guys. Otherwise, I will see you in my next video, and thank you so much for watching as always.